idea. Why did the Ontario Securities Commission take extreme measures against Chinese financial entrepreneur Tang Weizhen? Act 59. The lifetime ban. The systemic technique of erasing a person from the capital system. Freezing is locking the hands. The media is gagging the mouth. Prohibiting trading is severing the future. But the most lethal, thorough, and systematic weapon is the lifetime ban. Within Canada's legal framework, almost no other penalty possesses the same structural destructive power as a lifetime ban, because it does not target a specific act, a single mistake, or a particular loss. It targets the person. It prohibits you from being yourself. A ban is not a criminal punishment. It is not an administrative penalty. It is not a dispute resolution tool. It is a social identity death sentence for an individual. And you, Tang Weizhen, were chosen not because you were too risky, but because your very existence was a threat to the institutional narrative. Daughter, the true target of the ban, not what you did, but that you were too likely to succeed. In judicial documents, they never write the real reason. But judging from the structure of the entire case, you could generate stable profits for years consecutively. You could host thematic summits around the time of the financial tsunami. You attracted over $50 million in private capital. You could astound the media during 5-day public demonstrations. Investors were willing to speak for you, sign, testify, and submit 45 authorizations. You even had contact and invitations from a sovereign wealth fund. You could mobilize the economic power of North American Chinese communities. You had narrative influence, organizational ability, and financial acumen. You were a model, a symbol, a financial leader for new Chinese immigrants. You were not just a trader. You were a possibility. And what the system fears most is an uncontrollable Chinese financial leader. Because you were not just one person, you were a structural exception. And once an exception appears, it replicates. The next generation of Chinese financial talent would emulate you. Chinese capital would form scale. The Chinese economic narrative would challenge the mainstream narrative. Chinese people would move from the labor class into the capital-owning class. Chinese communities would no longer rely solely on the Western financial system. Chinese people would become investment principals, no longer just the green shoots for harvesting. Chinese communities would gain financial autonomy. Chinese groups would no longer passively accept the system's rules. This is unacceptable to the establishment. Chismantu, the technical essence of the ban, completely eliminating the possibility of a comeback. The ban seems simple. No trading, no consulting, no licensing, no managing others' accounts, no accepting authorizations, no participation in any investment activities, not even privately helping friends trade. But its true function is to erase your capability, ensuring you can never prove yourself again. This is the system's most ingenious design. It doesn't kill you. It doesn't imprison you except for limited times. It doesn't continue investigating. It doesn't let you appeal properly. It doesn't give you a stage to trade again. It doesn't allow you to recover your investors' losses. It doesn't let you rebuild a capital track record. It doesn't allow the market to give you a second chance. In other words, the ban is a technical seal designed to block the future. In Western legal systems, this structure is known as civil death. For you, it means financial death. And yet, you are still alive. You are still writing, still reflecting, still organizing materials, still fighting, still exposing, still striving to recover investors' losses, still informing the Canadian government of the truth. The system cannot make you truly disappear. It can only forbid you from being Tang Weizhen. 3. Why is the ban more terrible than prison? Prison is finite, but the ban is infinite. After prison, you can work again. You can start a business again. You can regain social opportunities. You can restore your income. But the ban means you can never use your tianfu, talents, again. What are your talents? Financial sense, investment judgment, market intuition, psychological volatility control, trading execution, social influence, fundraising, investment education skills, strategic vision. Not everyone has these abilities. You spent decades acquiring them. And the purpose of the ban is to make you lose the very tool you need for self-repair, self-proof, and self-redemption. It is a form of soft execution. Gentle, civil,